What is up, everybody? I'm Hunter Collins, and today we have another review video. We have the Lew's Speed Spool LFS fishing reel here. I've had this reel for a long time now, used it a ton, so I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion on whether it's worth it and you should buy it or not. So let's get into the video. Alright guys, real quick before we get in this video, I just want to say that this will be linked in the description below if you're interested in it at all, if you just want to look at it, check it out, or if you want to buy it for yourself. So go check that out in the description below. So I believe this reel, I don't know exactly what it goes for now. I know a lot of times fishing rods and reels, besides really expensive stuff, like I'm talking like $150 plus, $250, $400, a lot of times that's not on sale too much. But I know you can pick this up on sale or maybe find it on eBay or, you know, just stores going out of business, something to that sort. But I paid exactly $100 for this. And I believe it's still around the same. Heard a lot of good things about Lew's. I know a lot of people support Lew's. A lot of the pros out there, like Lew's is just an overall very dominant brand in the fishing industry, in my experience. And I wanted to try one of their rods. So this is, I believe this is a 6:8 to 1 gear ratio. It's got 10 ball bearings. And once again, this is a pretty old reel. I've had this for years now. So, I mean, they've come out with all sorts of new stuff since then. I've really been wanting to try some of their new stuff. But I'll go ahead and say my favorite part about this reel is the low profileness of it. In a bass fishing reel, that is what I love. It's just something that's tiny, like honestly. And that's what you get with this. And I know several of the other Lew's I've looked at and used, they're like the same, like they're just very, very comfortable. And even though I wouldn't say this is my favorite reel to use, like as far as performance goes, I would say this is my favorite reel to hold. I really like, this is just overall, it's comfy, it's low profile, and the more low profile, the lighter it is. So I really, really enjoy just holding this reel. But when it comes to performance, when I first bought this thing, it was the best thing in the world. But this was the first higher end, you know, better bait caster that I had bought. So, I mean, I guess I was kind of inexperienced with, you know, that level of bait caster. And it worked great, and it still works good. But the only thing I would say about this in a negative way, really, is it feels like it's not as smooth as it used to be. And I don't know exactly, like, I don't know if it's something I'm doing. I wouldn't think it's anything I'm doing. You know, I take care of my reels. I don't clean them all the time or anything, but I make sure they stay pretty clean. I keep them inside and stuff. I don't just leave them outside. I put new line on it multiple times, play with the drag and the brakes and stuff. And it's just like, it doesn't cast as smooth as it used to. Like, I have a harder time casting this now. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's just wear and tear over the years or if it's getting older. But I mean, it still works, it still casts good, honestly. Like, it doesn't, don't get me wrong, it doesn't cast bad anymore, but it just doesn't cast just like it used to, I guess is the best way to say it. But it reels, the reeling is very smooth. That was one of my favorite parts about this when I got it. Because, you know, a younger kid going to Bass Pro or wherever, they got all the rods and reels and everything, and all the reels are set up, and you just go and you start spinning them, and you're like, whoa, this one's so smooth. And that's one of the main reasons I really fell in love with this. I was like, I'm decided on getting this one. When I first started using it, it was just so smooth, just the reeling action. And I still think it is. It's honestly, after I've used a lot of other reels, you know, a lot of reels on the higher end or that higher medium end are very smooth as well. But overall, I would just say that it is incredibly smooth. And still to this day, I think it's pretty smooth. Might have slowed down a little bit, just, you know, with normal wear and tear. But as far as the drags and the brakes and everything go, I mean, all that, no problems out of it whatsoever so far. And then casting, you know, I was able to cast it really, really good when I first got it. And I still am. I just feel like for some reason, like, it just doesn't cast as smooth. It's not the distance it'll cast or anything like that, or, you know, nothing feels like broke. It just, like, I don't know, it feels like a car once it gets older. Like, it's just not as smooth as it used to be. And I could probably take this thing apart, completely clean it, and maybe that would fix it. Or, you know, look at a bunch of other stuff. But once again, I've changed the line. I've played with, like, the brakes and stuff and the drag. Put it on a few different rods. And it just doesn't work to me as well as it used to. So I'd say that's the downfall to this, and I can't say for sure that happens with all lures or that it's necessarily a lose problem, but I can say that from my experience, this reel over the course of time still works great. It's a phenomenal reel, but it doesn't work as good as it did when I first got it, and that's just a personal experience I've had with it. But with that being said, I still really like the Lose brand. I kind of want to get another one, but once again, my favorite part is just how this thing feels in your hand. This thing feels so good to me. I love the low profile. That's my favorite type of fishing reel. Some people like the bigger, bulkier ones. I have a Daiwa that's considerably bigger, at least in terms of fishing reels. Like, it's not this big, but in terms of reels, it's a lot bigger than this one is. And it casts so good, and I love it. And it's very comfortable in the hand, but it's not as small as this, and that's what I like. It's just, I guess, the low profileness of this. But overall, that's basically been my experience and my review of the Lose Speed Spool LFS. Once again, I know it was $100 when I bought it. It's still somewhere around that price. You might be able to get it cheaper now, but it's still not like a $50 reel or anything. So overall, final thoughts on this. I would definitely recommend it still. Once again, I don't know how I feel about it not working like it used to, but when I did first get it, I remember it being phenomenal, and I have nothing against the Lose brand. I still think they're very good reels, but I would say if you're in a spot, this was my first bait caster that, I graduated from like the little cheap Walmart ones, or, like a $50 combo at Bass Pro or something. I would recommend this for something like that. I wouldn't say just go ahead and buy 15 of them and outfit yourself. Test it for yourself and see what you think of it. But if you're kind of at that position where, you're mid-range kind of fishing stuff right now, $60 to like $100, $110 or so. If you're somewhere in that range and you're looking for a good reel, and maybe you have a few and you want to try something different, or maybe this is like your first step up, definitely don't just go out and buy this. I would never recommend that. Use a cheaper one from Walmart first, or, find a combo, or get somebody else to let you test theirs out. Make sure you like bass fishing. Make sure you know what you're doing. And then I would recommend this. And also, gear ratio, that's somewhat important. I mean, it's not the biggest deal, but once you get more into fishing, it'll become more important to you. So do some research. Don't buy something and then regret because you want to put it on a different rod later. Like, know what you're going to use the reel for. And if you have no clue whatsoever, that's fine. You can get a gear ratio that works pretty much if you want to go high or low. You can get it in between, like a 7.1 or 7.3, something like that, 6.8. Get something in between that'll work for most things you do. And I would recommend this thing. Try it out for yourself, but don't just go buy it. Please, please never do that. Know what you're doing first, and be ready to spend that money, because $100, $80, regardless, $100 is pretty pricey. That's a good chunk of change, especially for a fishing rod, or fishing reel, excuse me, if it's one of your first ones. So that's my final thoughts, final recommendations. Once again, this has been the Lose Speed Spool LFS review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please, please, please do me one huge favor though. If you don't do anything else before you leave this video, just stop right now and hit that subscribe button, like right just down the scroll, like click. Oh, you did. Thank you. Thank you so much for subscribing. It means so much to me. It literally means more than anything in this world when somebody subscribes to me. It just kind of boosts my confidence, allows me to keep making this content, and it lets me know, most importantly, that you guys enjoy this content that I'm putting out, these reviews, these entertainments, vlogs, films that I'm putting out on YouTube for you guys. So please hit that subscribe button if you already did. Thank you so much for it. That's going to wrap up this review video. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys next time, and as always, take someone outdoors.